Jai Bhim. Welcome to the
Hi.
Aesthetic Blue podcast. I'm your host Pranjali, and today we have with us Jayan Cherian, who is an Indian filmmaker. Uh, right now, he's based in New York City. He has made numerous experimental documentaries and films in the span of 10 years. His debut feature film, Papilio Budha, was premiered at Berlin International Film Festival in 2014. Some of his other works are Shape of the Shapeless, Under the Sky, Car Bodyscapes, and we'll get to know about his work and his journey from himself. Without further ado, welcome Jay Cherian. Jai Bhim sir, how are
Thank
you
you.
doing?
Fine, Pranjali. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the
So,
podcast. We are honored to have you.
thank you. I'm very glad to be in your program, and you can ask anything about my work. Uh,
We like I told the audience briefly about you, but there must be a huge roller coaster ride and journey between India to New York and all the films you made. So tell us something about how did you choose this field and how did one film happen after another and about the journey.
as a filmmaker, I started making film since I went to school for film. I did my undergraduate years at a city university. Uh, Under college, where I majored in film and creativity. So I start to make films from my undergraduate years, and I went to my master's program in City College, one of the other college of the City University. Uh, After the thesis films, and I started to make films. It was quite a struggle, and one of my major film I shot in India is Papilio Budha, which is about the land struggles in southern India, the other side of Western Ghats in Kerala, which is a fictional film, but we use a documentary space and the subjects in a fictional, actually, we use documentary subject in the film as a narrative strategy in the fictional space. That means majority of the film cast is coming from the real background of the cinema, the proximity of the characters, the people playing are in the real life is close to them. Um, and that was Papilio Budha, which is, as we can state the synopsis, the film is about a group of young people denouncing Hinduism and taking Buddhism. And it's a struggle against caste oppression. And really, the film was made, the immediate reason for making that film during that time, about 2008, 2009, that period onwards, there was several land struggle happening in Kerala. Land struggle means homeless people, predominantly Dalit groups, squatting on corporate land and refused to go away, and the government tried to evacuate them. But there was quite a struggle. The famous land struggle, one of the land struggle is Chenara, then Nepali, then still going on such struggles. In that film, in terms of that film, there is several groups and movements formed in Kerala during that time. There's one of the group is DHRM, which was Dalit Human Rights Movement, which is an embedded movement that also based on native Buddhist movement, native Buddhism, which is very indigenous idea to Kerala, and also it stems from the spiritual history of Kerala, especially the people. And of course, there is various movements happening in various other parts of India, especially Maharashtra and UP and Bihar. But Kerala, the structured Dalit struggle was very late. It means it started very earlier. The movements are there, but it's got stronger in 90s. But in this particular group, is come out of a land struggle, which is very famously named Chenara struggle, led by Laha Godalan. And there's a group from that started beyond the land struggle. They go to the Dalit colonies and teach people Buddhism and convert them to Buddhism. And also they have, after all these people, after work, they get together in the colony and start to teach Pali and that kind of homeschooling also they start. They want to unlearn the history they learned from school, and they have to read the books and the way they start to teach history in a Dalit perspective. And also they started de-addiction centers and several community programs, home education, home schooling and the de-addiction centers. And also they directly involve people's lives and intervene and they create like content that was started initially by the late Sri Anil Kumar, we all dearly call him Tatwanan, and he's no more and he passed. And at that time, the traditional political parties are unsettled by this movement because Dalit colonies in Kerala, we have about 25,000 or more colonies. In these colonies, majority of the people are Dalits and poor and working class people. And these colonies are the muscle power for traditional political parties. And traditional political parties is left or right or extreme right, or whoever it is, they are using these people in their job for their jagas and struggles. And actually, they are the muscle power of all political parties, especially the traditional left in Canada. And the DHRM, the Dalit Human Rights Movement, was really a threat for the traditional political party. So people start to portray them as terrorists. The Dalit militants and terrorists. And at that time, there was a murder happened in Vakana. And one person just mysteriously murdered, and this murder was really accused on the Dalit activists. And unprecedentedly, they started a manhunt, and they start to arrest randomly this DHRM organizers. So one reason DHRM organizations, DHRM have a special attire. They all wear blue jeans and a black shirt with the Dr. Ambedkar's picture on it. And that's a uniform for the DHRM, the Human Rights Movement in Kerala. That was that manhunt was continually is getting to another stage of real brutality, and several DHRM organizers being arrested and tortured very severely, and they have torture stations in certain police stations. And one Dalit girl was stripped, raped, and paraded at the colony at the night with the police party on the pretext of hunting for this, capturing this person murdered in that area, and several false cases charged against them. And this unprecedented torture was really inspired me to get into research about my work. And I took the testimonies of the victims and traveled among comrades in the colonies. And then we start to begin to write this movie. And the film, I don't want to make any documentary. So I'm a filmmaker. I want to make it as a fiction piece. At the same time, on the backdrop and the milieu of the reality, what is going on. So we start to write this film and collect money from friends and some actors, and we mix with actors and real activists together, and theater actors and a few film actors too. And we start to shoot it, and by 2012 we finished the film. And when we submitted to, we tried to show the film. And right away, the censor board denied the censor certification. So we are having a private screening in Toronto. And early morning, the people, usually we have a preview, some elite film cinephiles and the major people, the promotes of the city come to see the film. But just to watch this film, there are people from remote colonies start to travel early morning to the city and come to this theater. And in their attire, especially the DHR workers, with the black shirt and jeans, and the cops start to smell around, and when we finish the film, they come and surround the theater and they make a big scene, and the next day on the picture that we did some big crime or something. But at that same time, one of the prestigious film festivals in Kerala, IFFK, we submitted film there. The film was selected, and then this controversy come up. They withdraw the film due to some political pressure. So we arrange another private screening, and the cops come and shut down the theater before the film begins. And that was our legal fight was continuing. And it's after 8-10 months of a legal fight, and we go to the FCAT and all kind of things. And finally, we got the certification on a condition to remove a quote of Dr. Ambedkar from the film, which is Dr. Ambedkar did a comment on the longest satyagraha done by Gandhi. So that was end up in Pune Pact during the Ervada Jail Satyagraha, which you all know what was the Pune Pact and what is the Communal Award. Then British Prime Minister in 1928, Donald Ramsey, decided to give the Communal Award. And I don't have to explain the history, which is separate constituencies for Dalit people, which was long fought by Dr. Ambedkar. Go to England and go to the Parliament and lobbying and go to all these round table conferences. By all this persuasion and campaigning, finally, the people then in British courses, untouchables got this separate constituency. But there was an argument from the Congress side and all the Hindu South Africa side when this separate constituency for Anglo-Indians is okay, Sikh people is okay, Muslims are okay, Christians are okay, but then the so-called then quote-unquote untouchables get a separate constituency will divide India. That was their argument, and which was apparently leads this kind of majority Hindu state idea. So that was one reason Gandhi was against it. Gandhi started his longest satyagraha in Yerwada jail, satyagraha, to force Dr. Ambedkar to give up this constitutionally awarded rights and privileges for the Dalit people at that time. And also, in order to pressure Dr. Ambedkar, they started a genocide, and when at that time we know that there was turmoil was happening all around, and atrocities started committed against Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar forced to sign that. He forced to give up the award and sign the Pune Pact with Gandhi. But that is the history in the film. And later, Baba Sahib wrote in his book, The Congress and Gandhi, what the Congress and Gandhi have done to the untouchables in India. In that book, he referred to this fasting of Gandhi. Fasting is a foul act, it's a filthy act, it's the most oppressive act. So this quote was quoted one of the character in the film, reference to a pseudo-Gandhian struggle to evacuate people from the squatted land. So the government want to mute that actually our architect of Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, his quote was, we forced to remove that quote from the film. That's the history of Papilio Budha. Then later, ironically, the film went around and it was played in Berlin and went with several festivals. And finally, the state the next year, Kerala State Award, we got to that film also. That is the history. But still, the film is not distributed well. I studied in YouTube and Vimeo. But the possibility of distributing the film in India and to reach out to the people, it was effectively blocked by the system. So here you can see that the censorship, the censor board was used like a tool of exclusion against any counter narrative coming from the margins. So that was the history of Papilio Budha. And then I made another film, Cardboard Escapes, which was about the LGBTQI movement in Kerala. There was a gay painter trying to have an exhibition, his painting exhibition in one of the cities in Kerala, in Calicut, which was attacked and burned by, the paintings are burned by some conservative forces. And that also the film about the freedom of expression. But the film also get into trouble with the censor board, and which was, we ended up in about 2 years and 2.5 years long legal fight. Finally, it got the censor certificate. But during the time the Congress was ruling, when the Papilio Budha censorial fight was happening, this was when the BJP was. No matter who is ruling there, we are all living in that 1952 Cinematograph Act, which enabled the ruling party, ruling government, and a state can editorially intervene in a piece of art, which is kind of unprecedented or unheard of in modern democracies. But unfortunately, we are dragging ourselves biggest democracy in the world, but still we have to deal with this thing. And actually, it was really designed to do moral policing or this kind of patronizing colonial mentality of the British people, created in 1918 Indian Cinematograph Act to to control what the colonial natives see or not to see. You can see that the first film banned in India, in British India in 1921, a film called Bhakta Vidur, which was a Purana film, but the Vidur character was looked like Gandhi that time. And actually, that is the reason it is curtailed and controlled. And in 1934, then another film was banned, the Tyaga Bhumi, one of the Tamil movie. In 1934, I remember. I think that is still age, 1934. Tyaga Bhumi was banned because of it has openly, directly have anti-colonial movement depicted in the film. That's the reason. So what I'm saying that this British government created this Indian Cinematograph Act to control and curtail all kind of political expression in colonial India, or which is anti-colonial. But the same act of Nehruji in 1949, in 48 it is commissioned, and in 1949 it is discussed for 3 years, and that the same Indian British Cinematograph Act, Indian Cinematograph Act created by British people, reincarnated as 1952 Cinematograph Act in modern India, which was still we are living in the shadow of that. But the same colonial logic of the people are like imbeciles or infants, and all these powerful people in the power supposed to censor their work and what they're supposed to watch or not. But in the time of this internet, there is no use of that kind of censorship. But still, it is there, and we have a lot of this colonial baggage in our legal system. But unfortunately, we normalize it, and we are living with it. That is the thing I have to tell about our censor system. And still we have it. That's so unfortunate. And that is about that. If you can ask anything about the film or anything, I can add more.
Yeah, I can see and feel the pain, because we put all our hard work and sweat and blood into something, and when it gets criticized and banned, and it doesn't reach people, because the motive was to reach more and more people, to spread awareness, right? But that didn't happen. What do you think? India wasn't ready then, or it still isn't ready for films like that?
I don't know. India is, as a democracy, is very young democracy. It is evolving, and what direction we are going, people have different opinion. But of course, we are going forward, and there are several civil societies and groups and human rights people working on it. And democracy is just it is a journey. We have to, it's a continuum. We have to vigilant about our rights. What is the citizens' rights, and how we can enhance. But there is several other super structures in our society start to control us. In India, everything is religion. If whatever we do, it will touch the sentiments of any community, any particular jati, any caste group. If they raise an issue, it became a communal issue. If government can cite something that there is a threat of communal riot or social unrest, they can ban anything. So that is very sensitive society we are. Still, as democracy, we are immature. We have to go forward in that path a very long way to respect other people's expression, and we have to be mature. But that maturity is not going to come from east come easily. We have to have to be vigilant, and we have to continuously struggle against it and change it. And we can see several notorious laws be corrected, like Session 377. We were what kind of atrocities legally we were doing to the LGBTI community, but that um, Section 377 is gone. We eradicated it, we scrapped it. So the Cinematograph Act also we supposed to scrap it, but it is not going to happen its own. We have to build a movement against it and to eradicate it.
Yeah.
That will be a struggle.
Yeah, we blame Britishers to, we say they divided and they ruled, but even we are doing the same. We are dividing people in the name of caste and religion in different language, and politicians are taking advantage of that.
Yes, yes, and I'm not blaming any particular dominant groups, and not only British. So a lot of Western powers. That was the colonial era, but we are in a decolonized world now. At least the decoloniality is kind of in motion, uh, uh, and we are an independent country. We have to have to move. So right now, recently we had a lot of court verdicts came out to put things in place, like right to privacy. About marital rape is still
Yeah.
being dealt in the court, but there is going to be we are an LGBTQ, right? So now we are getting into same-sex marriage, and a lot of things are legalized. A lot of things, the outmoded archaic laws are replaced, but the mentality, our people's mentality, has to change. In several ideas, the millennium old caste system is still practicing this caste discrimination. Is of course it is illegal. Dowry is illegal, and marital rape also come to place. It is illegal, but still in India, not only there are these are daily committed against people. So less fortunate people in the society is being really marginalized and structurally exploited. And we are still under the system, what, 2-3 million old system, which is the prominent tool of oppression in the world, still prominent in India, and we practice it. That is the caste system, the annihilation of caste. Dr. Ambedkar dreamed and worked hard for it, and still we are struggling with it. That's the reality.
Even as the citizens or as the humans, we are, not united. Even people think that we are superiors and they are so-called lower caste people, and everything is fine until it comes to the marriage or to the family. And people say, no, there's nothing like caste now in India. They are the one who are doing it. Like,
Yes, of
they
course.
don't experience. Who experiences it, they know that it's still there.
Endogamy is the key. Endogamy is the key, and the controlling the reproductive system of the female is the key of this so-called the Shuddha people, and that is the key of the caste system. If whenever we think beyond the caste system socially, especially this the intercaste marriage, is still it is not a normal thing. It cannot be a first thing. And we look at the matrimonial sites, and there is caste and subcaste. They have their own matrimonial sites, and it is absurd. It's absurd. Only we have it. Only Indian people have these things. The caste is the class system, and the structure, the hereditary social structures are found all over the world. But this kind of rigid caste system only practiced in India, especially in the case of this the marriage and every aspect of it, and a new the identity politics, caste-based identity politics is getting prominent, but it is exacerbating the division in a way. But we have to find a way to overcome this and fulfill Dr. Ambedkar's dream of the total elimination of caste, and also we have to make a better place to live and respect other people as individuals beyond their ability, beyond their caste or where they're born, or caste, class, location, whatever it is. We have to be. Of course, there's a struggle. There's a struggle we are all doing.
He also said that we can, somewhat reduce this. We can walk. Just a second. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So Baba Sahib also said that we can reduce the caste system, or we can walk towards the casteless India if we do intercaste marriages. But even that's not happening. Even like my age, I'm 26. People of my age are still in that mentality. Ki, no, we can't do intercaste marriages. Maybe, hopefully, our generation will be the last generation to think like if we have to go against parents, we won't do it. And maybe our children, we will give them the liberty to love who they want to love, and have their own life, the casteless life, just being the human.
It's actually everybody's dream is that, but it is we have to have put a serious effort into that. Definitely, it will change. There is a lot of hindrances. There is a lot of hurdles on the way, but the people will overcome it. They have to make a deliberate change, and that change will happen. I hope for the best. I'm an optimist, but it will take time. But unfortunately, our complex is graded inequality, as Baba Sahib put it. It has kind of an innate mechanism it's very closely related to this endogamy and controlling the female sexuality and the marriage, which keep the bloodline, which keep the caste nobility. And it is every underdog have somebody down there to thrash, and at the same time they have some kind of nobility to be proud about it or brag about. Even though even among the Dalit, even the upper caste, and they have kind of subcasteism have its own. It is a cyclical oppression, which is not like a black and white binary. That make these things difficult. But of course, in the future, we all hope for the best, and we could have a revolution. That revolution means that the ultimate change will come, but it is not come at very easy. But every single individual have to spread that awareness and make that change in their own life. The
Yeah.
constitution changes is because caste practice itself not legal. Discrimination is not illegal, but still it is happening. And the people using this caste names publicly, and they're bragging about that social capital come with the last names. Also a huge issue.
Yeah.
How we can overcome it is the mere kind of legislation, how we can ban it. We cannot do that. It is not possible at all. Just several illegal things are there, but still people practicing it. But only that change will come through the individual life. The personal life itself is a battleground to eradicate, overcome this vast rigidity, and also overcome the inequalities, to have an open struggle, community organizing, grassroots level kind of activism that only bring these things down.
Yeah, like my father says that even those people who believe in caste and they discriminate, uh, they are not criminals. Maybe they are, from generation to generation, they are taught like that. This is the hierarchy, we have to follow it, and you also have to follow it. So to expect them to change in one night, it's also not fair to their part, because it is part of their upbringing. That's how they grew up, watching their parents do that, and their surrounding. So yeah, it will take a time, but all we can do is spread awareness and show it through our work and art, and make them realize that at the end of the day we all are humans. It will take some time to change people's mindset, and hopefully we people like you, and like Vipul, like Paranjit, will be able to create fantastic art and awareness, and things can change.
That's already changing. There's several filmmakers coming from especially Dalit auteurs coming up and telling their space, and the people who were silent in visual storytelling, or silenced by the system, now open up the opportunities, and people coming up. This kind of thousands of narratives will come from the marginalized people's background, and it will dominate, and it will make a change. I'm very optimistic about it.
Yes, for sure. um do you think this caste discrimination thing is only in India, or do you think it is a global thing? Like, have you faced discrimination or casteism in America or in New York?
Of course, it is all over, because India have a huge diaspora all over the world, especially in America, have a big diaspora, powerful diaspora. In many walks of life, in diaspora life, we encounter these last names, and most of the people we meet other Indians within the Indian community. Of course, there is caste discrimination. In California, it is legislature already on the way, already made caste discrimination is illegal. It is racism. And also there was a huge attempt in UN from Dalit activists all over the world uh, in raise this issue, the caste discrimination declared as racism. Unfortunately, we couldn't reach a UN resolution or anything, but still the lobbying is happening. And there is several walks of life, the people being discriminated, the discriminated people resist uh, around the globe. And the resistance is getting powerful around the world. And it will be, mm, it has to go a lot again, and we will reach their edge, but the movement is getting stronger and stronger around the globe. Of course, in America also there is, if from Indian community, they practice caste in in various walks of life, especially when come to the marriage, you can see the caste group and subcaste group, they have special apps for dating. Even not only that, in the social gatherings also, this caste is very prominent and is play a huge role. But the resistance against these caste practices are getting stronger too. And we hope we will eradicate, or we will reduce the efficacy of this so-called discriminatory practice all around the world. We hope for the best and keep up the struggles.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, I think Texas has become the first state in US to bring that in the law that discrimination on the basis of caste is illegal.
Legal. And actually, California, I thought, there's also Texas also, there is attempt happening. I don't know the exact what state they are, what stage their struggle is. But it will gradually catch up in all states in America. And also, you can see wherever the Indian diaspora, there is this all among the Indian diaspora, there is discrimination exist, and also resistance against it also getting powerful.
Yeah. As a filmmaker, do you see a representation of our people, like Bahujan people, in Indian movies? Do you think we are presented, or our issues are shown?
No, not at all. Actually, there is voices coming from even Maratha film. You see Nagaraj, his films are kind of getting in the mainstream, but still we have to have more filmmakers to emerge from the communities, and the mainstream movies, especially, they begin to address the caste issue, but it is not enough yet. We have to go miles to go to stay to get accurate representation of the marginalized communities, especially Dalit people. Their voices are not even nearly represented, and that representation, struggle for the representation, supposed to be have to exacerbate that movement, and it will be accelerated by more authors, more filmmakers coming from these communities. And it will happen, but we will reach their edge, but we have to go.
Like you mentioned, Nagraj Manjure. So I feel his first, not his first film, but which got which got success on a huge level. That was Sairat. It was again remaked in Hindi. So I feel he delivered both the entertainment and at the end the message he wanted to. Like he gave us all the love songs and teenage romance to get us hooked, but at the end he also showed the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the mainstream cinema have to be more, not this is only limited in art house films, but in Tamil, that a tendency. I mean, that representation is more getting mainstream now. The mainstream films is bringing up more caste representation. At the same time, the anti-caste movement is kind of became almost a central theme in Tamil cinema. Now that is spreading over to other uh, film communities like in Kannada cinema and Telugu cinema, of course in Malayalam cinema. If the caste discourses came to centrality, it's gaining kind of momentum now. But as I said before, has to get more and more mainstream films made with a caste consciousness, and then still it is not fairly represented all over Indian cinema. Bollywood itself, there's a biggest industry, and which is still underrepresented by the Dalit people, especially Dalit voices. Not only Dalit voice, other marginalized communities, sexual minorities, and also other tribal voices, and several things to come into place.
And even in the Hindi version of Sairat, the caste issue wasn't shown. It was more about the class issue. So they changed it according to their preference, I would say.
That's also market by still the market is controlling this mechanism, and still widely the industry is controlled by the upper caste people. That is one of the reasons, and their sensibilities and their fancies and whims getting prominent. And a political caste discourse is still, it is not in the mainstream cinema yet.
Even in the Article 15, they showed all how the hero comes and he saves the poor people, but even he was upper caste. Why can't we save ourselves?
No, the Article 15 also this have a problem of ethnographic element in it, that also upper caste perspective, and this kind of upper caste saviors are kind of that is also a issue of the upper caste people, and the caste is kind of everybody's issue. And this idea of this savior hero, that itself a problematic thing that itself has to addressed by the more politically aware filmmakers.
Tell us about your upcoming new projects. What are you working on right now?
Right now, I am working on a film on African diaspora in India, especially that I focus on the Konkan area. There's people transported from Mozambique to India during the colonial time, which is we often unheard of this Indian ocean slave trade. We always talk about transatlantic slave trade, and several slave ships come to Goa and also in Mumbai during the colonial time. But where these people gone? And we can see that the prominent African diaspora in India is the Siddhi community. Siddhi community is spread all over South Asia, not only in India. There is huge portion of that is in Pakistan, in Sindh, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in Gujarat, and in Karnataka. Karnataka, in Konkan area, in Uttara Karnataka district, we have 150,000 African diaspora people, Siddhi community. They are divided into three groups: in the Siddhi Muslims, Siddhi um, uh, Christians, and also the Siddhi Hindu community in Uttara Karnataka. They are still in very uh, in the lowest portion of the social stratum. If they re-enslaved into the caste system, especially the Hindu community in Uttara Karnataka. So my new project is based on Siddhi community in Uttara Kannada, and that film is almost finished. Film was in the WIP in the work in progress lab. Last film was our end of disease film was up, and that film will be out within few months. It will hit the festival circuit, and that was our one of the longest project, which is in Konkani Siddhi dialect, which is a Creole of Konkani, spoken by the Siddhi community in Uttara Kannada.
Okay, we are eager to watch that film.
The name of the film is The Rhythm of Dhamma. It's a Dhamma is kind of a instrument that the people use for their rituals and also their physical joints. And the film about a city boy is possessed by, it's a fictional film possessed by this grandfather spirit, and he's trying to reach out his ancestors through his dreams. That's a social fantasy film, but it is rooted on the realities of the city community in Uttara Kannada and their struggle to climb the social ladder, also to reach out to their better healthcare, better education, and their real keeping their identity as African diaspora in India. That's a huge struggle they are having now. And that film is depicting their struggle.
This Diwali, the Diwali vacation, I visited my family and we went to Gulbarga in Karnataka. And we went, there is a huge and very beautiful Buddha Vihar. We went there. And when we were there, there was a father and daughter who were visiting. So my father is very enthusiastic to talk with people and have conversation. So he asked them, how is the situation in South or Karnataka about the caste system and all. So the father said, we are not Buddhists, like they didn't do the conversion thing, but they believe in Baba Sahib and Lord Buddha's thoughts, and they follow them. And he said that in South, the situation is slightly better. What do you think? How's the situation in Karnataka, or you're from Kerala? So in Kerala.
No, the situation is better than a few decades ago, but it is still a huge struggle. It's still in Karnataka, the land rights of the Dalit people also problem, and majority of the people still lives in the colonies, the ghettos, and still they have challenges of getting right education and right opportunities. Even the reservations and affirmative actions and everything is in place, but it is not good enough yet. Still, people are struggling to get basic necessities in their life, and still they are. Of course, there is certain elite element within it, but not yet have proper social representation in all walks of life. And the caste system is very brutal and real, and still it is in large in South. I don't think it is not tolerable level. And also we are getting stories every day, the caste atrocities happening all around India, not only in particular place. In certain places, the aggressions became microaggressions, and but still it is the people facing discrimination and social isolation. And that is the reality that we have to deal with it, and we have to fight against it. I don't think it is a better position south or north, but all over India, the levels are varying, but still the caste discrimination is a reality, and related social unrest is there.
Yeah, like we only get to know about the cases which get, blown up, or we like news channels cover it. But like Hathras, it was a very big case. It shook the nation. But there must be, like you said, every day something must be happening somewhere, and we are not aware of it.
Whatever we know, that is the media covers. So the media cover is whenever it is sensational, and they have that became a narrative to spinning for the interested parties, and only that kind of cases get the coverage. But thousands of voices are unheard, and a lot of uh, testimonies coming out from the margins is kind of still heart-wrenching. The stories are out there, and it is changes. The discrimination is not disappearing, but changes its modes. That's all.
Yeah, even in Maharashtra, there are multiple cases like Nitin Age. He was just a young boy. He was tortured to death, and it was horrific. When I read, I think I was in graduation maybe, and uh, I was shook. I couldn't take that topic off my mind for like a few weeks, and it was coming in newspaper, so I used to read it, and it's horrific. Like I would say, I'm privileged that my family is educated. I'm educated. I'm earning, so I don't have to face it directly, even though in work or in friend circle, indirect discrimination though it happens, but directly we are not, I'm not getting faced to that kind of hatred and um, situation. I think I feel very blessed because of Baba Sahib. He took the effort, and now we are in the place that we have to defend our people and protect them. Yeah, it is very hard. I mean, I just got the flashback of what was happening in that period, and it's horrific. I used to read the paper, I used to keep those articles, and I used to feel why? Why? We are all just humans. Why can't we just treat other people like it's not even human? We are living beings. Like animals, they are living beings. Plants, they are living beings. Why can't we treat every living being with respect, with kindness? But again, yeah, that's the reality, and we have to accept it and work towards changing it.
Yeah, that's of course. And then Baba Sahib wrote that speech, Annihilation of Caste, in 1939. But whatever he addressed there, that the things are still exist here. That is really painful. And still, after the independence, we have this much long we traveled, we journeyed as a nation, but still we have to address this issue, this caste atrocities, discriminations, and this happening. That this kind of heartbreaking stories coming from several parts of the country, and that is a difficult task we have to address. Only we can overcome by spreading awareness. At the same time, building up the grassroots level struggles against the discrimination and address
Yeah.
it, right? And even though even educated people, elite people, maybe having good jobs and positions, and in the social space, you will encounter several aggressions, like in micro level, not severely, but when we feel it, we have to step up and address the issue,
Hmm.
and going forward from that. And also, it is caste system in India is not a problem of Dalits only. It's a problem of every decent human being who have any kind of values. Who is that is every day we are questioning our existence as a human being, and the civility, the matter of civility. Uh, uh, it is a problem of all people, not only the Dalit people's issue. And still we have a long way to go. This is a reality.
Yes, but there's a fear in people like to take a stand or speak up about the casteism or the discrimination because if they take a stand for themselves or they speak up, they go against the system. They will have to face the repercussions. Like they might get outcasted or they will get different kind of treatment. So even it takes courage to speak up.
Of course, it will take courage, but we look back what our ancestors were suffering and what they're facing, what was Baba Sahib was facing when we are looking back. And we are in a better position right now, but still we have to, with that vigor and that with all the courageous that what Baba Sahib fought, that we have to fight right now. We have to fight forward every day. Uh, uh, there is no easy way out. And wherever we see the discrimination, wherever we see the incidents, we have to address it, and we have to spread awareness against it, and we have to educate ourselves. At the same time, we have to educate our people around us.
Yeah, right. He came from London with a degree,
Mhm.
and still his peon used to throw a file at his table. So he has faced a lot, and I think we don't have that much of we don't have to face that much intensity now because of him. So we should take his movement forward.
So best thing, we have to read more Dr. Ambedkar, and we go back to literature, and we have to spread the words of Baba Sahib. And that is only way we can overcome it. Educate ourselves, educate people we encounter with.
Right.
That's only way. And fight against and courageously stand up against.
Yeah.
And we have laws and use all the legal way to fight against it.
I'm having so a great time chatting with you, but we'll take the last question now. Do you have any message for aspiring filmmakers who are particularly making films on Ambedkarite movement or the um, social issues, and also for our audience?
So for the message for young filmmakers to keep on making films, no matter you're waiting for a big money or finance capital or industry support, probably it is not come to your way. But right now everybody have a phone, everybody have a camera, and you just start to shoot people, shoot whatever in your mind, and write the script and shoot with the camera, whatever you have. Your cell phone is more than enough nowadays. And edit it and show people. And if you wait for to get a big finance capital or big studio group or big producer to come to save me, it is not going to happen. You have to start with you, whatever you have, whatever means in front of you. A phone is more than enough to capture the reality surrounding you. And you can edit it in your own way. There's n number of software available. And courageously do whatever you feel like it. Don't think about other people, what they think, or if you hurt some people, or if you don't try to please anybody. Or as a filmmaker, you follow your guts, your feelings, and primarily you making your art. And also the social message or anything, don't even worry about it. It will come naturally. And you don't have to deliberately design a message for our people. If you start to capture the life surrounded the people's living around you, and whatever you are seeing, whatever you feel like, there's no rigid form or a particular content or subject, whatever in front of you, whatever a gut feeling as an artist telling you, capture it and present it to the people. You call yourself a filmmaker. Nobody can make you, nobody can tell you that your films is not kind of a film that I want to see. People can say that, but that is your film. And never get discouraged by the other people.
Yeah. Content is what matters.
Yeah, of course. And also your own voice, always your own voice, it will reflect on your work and go for your gut feel.
Thank you so much, sir, for chatting with us, for giving your precious time. I really enjoyed the chat, and I wish all the best for your upcoming projects. I hope even us, Aesthetic Blue, will grow and will be able to do the work we are passionate about. Thank you. Jai
Thank you.
Bhim.
Okay, JP. Thank you very much, people, and thank you, Pranjali, and wonderful chatting with you. Good luck
Thank you.
with everything. Thank you.
Jai Bhim.